Hello, my beautiful, radiant Leo souls, and welcome back to Cosmic Wisdom. I am so glad you have found your way here today, at this very specific and potent moment in time. Before we even begin, I want you to take a gentle, deep breath with me. Inhale courage and exhale any shadows of doubt. Good. Now let me ask you something, magnificent Leo. Have you been feeling a subtle shift deep within your heart lately? Perhaps it feels like the brilliant sun that lives inside of you has been veiled by a passing cloud, a strange and unexplainable dimming of your inner light. Maybe a name has been echoing in the chambers of your mind, or a fleeting memory flashes before your eyes, causing your powerful heart to ache for a reason you cannot quite name. If any of this resonates with that royal soul of yours, then your presence here is no accident. It is a divine appointment. The universe has guided you to this message because it is time for you to understand something truly profound. Someone very close to you, a cherished soul in your kingdom, is preparing for a sacred journey. They are preparing to pass away. But please, hear my words with your heart, not with fear. This message is not meant to bring you sorrow, but to bring you clarity. This is not merely about an ending. Oh no, this is about a monumental awakening that is beginning to stir within you. That feeling you're sensing, that undeniable knowing in your gut, is your magnificent intuition, your soul's own golden compass, alerting you that a powerful cycle is nearing its sacred completion. It is a sign that you are being prepared for a transformation that will change the very way your light shines in the world. If this message is already stirring something within your heart, I want you to pause for a moment and honor that feeling. It is real and it is valid. Let me know you are here and ready to open your heart by commenting below with the words, "I am ready to receive the light that the universe bestows." Let's create a beautiful wave of courage and recognition together. And if you haven't yet joined our Cosmic Wisdom family, please take this moment to press that subscribe button. We are on this journey together, and I want to ensure you never miss these divine cosmic updates that are crafted just for you. You see, dear Leo, there are moments in this grand tapestry of life where logic and reason simply cannot reach. These are the moments where your heart, the very center of your being and the ruler of your magnificent sign, simply knows. It knows a season is changing. It knows a chapter is closing. It knows that a soul you are deeply connected to, even one you haven't spoken to in years, is getting ready to transition from this physical world. You don't know this because you read it in a message or heard it in a conversation. You know this because you felt it. You felt the shift in the cosmic winds. I have always believed that while other signs may connect to the universe through their minds or their spirit, you, dear Leo, connect through the unwavering, powerful beat of your heart. Your heart is a sun, a gravitational center around which your entire reality revolves. When the world is busy looking for proof and demanding evidence, you have already felt the truth in your very core. Those who truly understand the majestic nature of a Leo soul know that your intuition isn't just a fleeting feeling. It is a form of profound, heart-centered wisdom. It is a royal decree from your higher self. Your intuition doesn't need to shout. It roars silently within your chest. It's the sudden urge to reach out to someone, the warmth that floods you when you think of a happy memory, or the inexplicable shadow that makes you pause, even on the brightest of days. If this has been your experience lately, please do not dismiss it. For a soul as radiant as yours, this inner knowing is not a fantasy. It is one of your greatest divine gifts. It is the universe's way of speaking directly to the king, to the queen that resides within you. Think about it for a moment. Has there ever been a time when you had a vivid dream of a loved one, only to receive news of their passing a short time later? Have you been scrolling through old photos and suddenly found your gaze lingering on one person, your heart swelling with a mix of love and a strange sense of finality? These are not mere coincidences, my beautiful friend. These are sacred callings. They are affirmations of the deep, unbreakable bonds your soul has forged, bonds of love and loyalty that time, distance, and even death itself cannot sever. You feel these things so deeply because you are a Leo. You were born to love with the full force of your being, to protect your pride, and to shine your light upon those you cherish. This makes you a natural beacon, a lighthouse in the lives of many. But it also means you feel the dimming of another's light with an almost physical intensity. It can feel like a part of your own flame is flickering. It's a sacred gift, but my goodness, I know it can also feel like a heavy crown to wear. You don't just carry your own pain, you feel the impending silence in your kingdom. You are not being overly dramatic. You are not imagining things. You are simply living from a place of profound truth, listening to the wisdom of your heart while the rest of the world is often deafened by the noise of the mundane. And that is precisely why you were guided here today, to have this feeling validated, to hear that what you are sensing is real. If you have ever felt the presence of someone who has passed, if you've ever walked into an empty room and felt a sudden warmth, as if they were there with you, or if a particular song has ever brought tears to your eyes for a reason that felt bigger than just memory, then you know you are being touched by the infinite. I invite you now to share one such story in the comments. Write down that memory, that feeling. What you share may be the very message of comfort another soul in our community needs to read today. And in releasing it, you may find your own heart feels a little lighter, a little brighter. If your heart is beating just a little faster right now, if a lump is forming in your throat, then stay with me. Continue to listen with that brave and open heart of yours, because what you are feeling is likely the universe's first gentle signal. It is a sacred heads up that someone you hold dear is preparing to make their grand exit from the stage of this life. But listen closely, Leo. Their departure is not designed to break your magnificent spirit. It is coming to awaken you, to call you back to the throne of your own heart, and to clear the way for something newer, brighter, and more authentically you to emerge into your life. Your heart is sending you a signal, and the universe, in its infinite wisdom, is confirming it today through the ancient language of the tarot. It is sending you a card that at first glance seems to speak of utter devastation, but for you, it carries a hidden message of rebirth. The card is the Ten of Swords. An ending is indeed upon us, but it is in this very ending that your truest healing is destined to begin. My beloved radiant Leo, if your heart knowing has been whispering of an ending, then today the cosmos confirms it with the undeniable energy of the Ten of Swords. Now, I know this is one of the most feared cards in the entire deck. The image is stark, isn't it? A figure lying face down, with 10 swords piercing their back. It's a symbol of betrayal, of hitting rock bottom, of a painful and irreversible loss. Many would see this and recoil in fear. But for a soul like yours, a Leo soul forged in the heart of the sun, I must tell you, this card has a different, deeper meaning. It does not come to signal your defeat. It comes to announce your liberation. The Ten of Swords represents an absolute end, yes. An old story must conclude. An old way of being must be laid to rest. And yes, it signifies that someone you are deeply connected with is approaching that final boundary between this world and the next. However, just like the dawn that is painted on the horizon of this very card, its appearance is an unbreakable promise from the universe that after the darkest moment, the light is guaranteed to return. The sun will always rise again. And who, my dear friend, is the embodiment of the sun if not you? I don't believe that death is a final curtain call. I believe it is a doorway. It is the soul's grand release, a return to a place of pure light and peace, where the burdens of the physical world, the pains, the regrets, the limitations, all fall away. And sometimes, the passing of a loved one is the most profound and transformative gift they can leave for us. It is the gift of perspective. It is the gift of awakening. Let me ask you, powerful Leo, has your pride or your busy schedule ever caused you to hold back a word of love? Have you ever thought, I'll make that call tomorrow, or we'll have that important conversation next week? This moment is a cosmic reminder that tomorrow is never guaranteed. Each soul is granted a finite amount of time in this earthly costume, and what truly wounds us is not that our loved ones leave, but the love we failed to express while they were here. Perhaps your heart is heavy with a regret, an unspoken apology, a hug you didn't give, or a thank you that remained lodged in your throat. This can make the impending farewell feel so much heavier. But you must know this: their soul, if it is truly connected to yours, already feels the love you hold. They do not need grand speeches or dramatic displays. They simply need you to remember them with a heart full of authentic love and to pray for their peaceful journey. And that, dear Leo, is something you are uniquely qualified to do. You love with a fire and a generosity that is unmatched. You are the sign of the heart, of grand gestures, and of unwavering loyalty. This is why every time you consciously choose to let go of a past hurt, forgive a mistake, or remember someone with the warmth of gratitude instead of the sting of regret, the sun within you burns a little brighter, and their soul, wherever it may be on its journey, will feel that warmth. It will feel your light. Is there someone on your mind right now? Someone you still carry in your heart but haven't dared to contact? Is there a letter you composed in your mind but never had the courage to send? Today, I invite you to leave a message for them right here in the comments. Write it as if they are reading every word over your shoulder, because energetically, who is to say they are not? Sometimes, the simple act of writing it down is a powerful ritual of release. It is a loving farewell we offer to them, and a gentle gift of peace we give to ourselves, so that we may continue to live with a heart that is whole, not bleeding. I want you to burn this truth into your memory. No farewell is without meaning. No ending is made of pain alone. The Ten of Swords may appear shocking, but if you look closer at the image, you will always see the sky beginning to lighten. The storm has passed. The sun is rising. Life is continuing. And you, magnificent Leo, are the witness to this cosmic promise. You may be in the heart of the storm right now, but you are also the one who is destined to walk out of it, not broken, but reborn. You are the living proof that a wounded heart can beat with even greater strength, that a soul that has known darkness can shine with a newfound brilliance. This farewell is not here to shatter your kingdom. It is here to bring you back to your throne. Souls in your majestic Leonine group often learn their greatest lessons through trials of the heart. Loss invites you not just to feel pain, but to alchemize that pain into spiritual gold, into the raw material for a more powerful and authentic rebirth. You don't have to pretend to be strong right now. You don't have to put on a performance for anyone. You only need to be real. And the reality is, you are in the midst of a sacred and transformative moment. You are being divinely invited to look back at your life, to forgive what has been, to say what was left unsaid, and to know that you have always been enough. You don't need to wait for an apology from anyone. You don't need a grand gesture to make things right. You only need to accept that everything happened as it was meant to, and now it is your time to continue living, not in the shadows of regret, but in the full glory of your own light. So, just for a moment, close your eyes, place a hand over your powerful heart. Take a deep, cleansing breath and whisper, either aloud or within your soul, "I release you with love. Thank you for the light you brought into my life. I forgive you. I forgive myself. I choose to live on, brighter and stronger." My dear Leo, I am so incredibly proud of you. Proud that you are not running from this intense feeling. Proud that you are choosing to face it with the courage of a lion. Proud that you dare to keep your heart open even when it aches. And when this storm finally passes, and it will, you will look in the mirror and see a version of yourself you never knew existed. You will be wiser, more compassionate, and more deeply connected to your own incredible strength. You will realize that it was this very goodbye that polished the diamond of your soul and brought you closer to the most magnificent version of yourself, a version that has walked through the fire and is now ready to step into the brilliant light of a new day. This goodbye, dear Leo, is the very doorway leading you to your new self. The departure you are sensing is not just an ending, it is a grand opening, an invitation for your soul to expand farther, love deeper, and shine brighter than ever before. I've always believed that within every Leo, there are two powerful flames. One flame burns for others. It is the flame of loyalty, of performance, of protecting and providing for your pride. But there is another, more sacred flame. This is the flame that burns just for you. It is the fire of your own creative spirit, your own divine purpose, your own self-worth. This cosmic event is calling you to turn your attention inward, to tend to that sacred inner fire. You may not have realized it, majestic one, but you have never been weak. You are one of the bravest signs in the zodiac because you dare to love with an open heart in a world that is often cold. You dare to take risks, you dare to express yourself, and you dare to show up and roar even when you are trembling inside. And because you live with such passion, when someone leaves your orbit, it can feel like a planet has been ripped from your solar system. You don't just lose them, you feel you have lost a part of your own light. But sometimes, that part we thought we lost was actually the part that was holding us back. Some goodbyes do not come to cause us to fall. They come to awaken us from a role we have been playing for far too long. Perhaps you once loved someone so much that you dimmed your own light to make them comfortable. Perhaps you once took on the role of the perpetual caregiver, the strong one, the entertainer, sacrificing your own needs to keep the peace and earn applause. This departure is a cosmic bell, ringing with a clear and certain tone, reminding you, you cannot be the sun in someone else's sky if your own inner fire is turning to embers. The souls who pass through our lives are often our greatest teachers. They came not to stay forever, but to teach you the most crucial lesson of all for a Leo. Loving yourself is not an act of selfishness. It is an act of supreme courage. It is learning to be your own audience, your own cheerleader, your own source of warmth when no one else is there. It is accepting that people may leave, but the lesson and the love will always remain. And that, my dear Leo, is when you are being officially invited to step into a new, magnificent chapter of your life. Imagine your soul is a grand stage. Every person who enters your life plays a role. Some are guest stars, some have recurring roles. But this departure is clearing the stage for a new headliner. You are no longer just the director or the producer of this grand play. You are the star. The spotlight is turning back to where it always belonged. Are you standing on the precipice of this incredible change? Are you ready to close the curtain on an old act and begin writing a new script, one where you are the undeniable hero of your own epic story? If your heart is roaring, yes, I want you to declare it. Write it down in the comments as a powerful commitment to your own soul. I am the star of my own life. Write it as a promise that you will never again accept a role that requires you to forget your own worth. Leo, you do not need anyone else to rescue you. The divine light of the universe is already within you. The strength of 1,000 suns is in your heart. You only need to trust that powerful, instinctual feeling you've always had, because that is your intuition, the compass of your soul, and it is pointing you in one clear direction: forward. No one can walk this path for you, but I promise you this: you will not walk it alone, because the souls who are truly meant for your kingdom, your true pride, they will find you in your light, not in your shadows. They will be drawn to your warmth, not your wounds. They will stay not because they need something from you, but because they want to walk beside you, two sovereign beings shining together. You have loved others with your entire magnificent heart. Now it is time to turn that same ferocious love and loyalty back upon yourself. You have forgiven others for their shortcomings time and time again. Now, try forgiving yourself for not knowing how to love yourself sooner. And then, as you clear away these old attachments and outdated roles, a miraculous thing will begin to happen. New energy will flood into your life. New opportunities, new friendships, new creative inspirations will arrive, drawn to the brilliant light of your authentic self. The universe will send you souls who don't want you to change a single thing. They will love your drama, your passion, your vulnerability, and your incredible light. And you will finally realize that sometimes the most beautiful things can only enter our lives after we have had the courage to lose what we once thought we could not live without. Do you believe that, Leo? If you do, write that one powerful declaration to yourself in the comments below. I am ready, because you are embarking on a journey more sacred than any other, the journey of returning to the truest, most radiant version of yourself. You were not born to simply please an audience, Leo. You were born to awaken the world with the sheer, unapologetic glory of your existence. And that awakening begins right now. Have you ever been thinking of someone, and suddenly, a song that was special to you both starts playing on the radio? Have you been feeling lost and looked at the clock to see 1:11 or 8:08, the number of strength? Or have you felt a sudden, inexplicable warmth on your face, like a beam of sunlight breaking through the clouds on a dreary day? If this has happened, you are not imagining it. You are not making it up. You are being communicated with. I believe that the souls of our loved ones, though no longer bound by a physical body, still walk beside us. They become our guardian angels, our celestial cheerleaders. They don't speak in words, but in energy. They communicate through synchronicities, through those small, magical moments that make your heart stop and your soul listen. As a Leo, you are uniquely attuned to this frequency of love. While others might dismiss these signs as coincidence, you feel their significance. You stop, you notice, you feel them. That's because you live with your heart wide open, and your heart is still connected to every soul it has ever truly loved. Love, my dear Leo, never dies. It simply changes its form. It may leave a physical body, but it continues to live on in every act of courage you take, every creative project you birth, every time you choose to shine your light into the world. Maybe you have lost someone whose name you can no longer say without your voice cracking. You can't call them, you can't text them, you can't hug them, but you can still feel them, can't you? You feel them in your moments of triumph, a silent, proud applause from the wings. You feel them in your moments of sorrow, a gentle, invisible hand on your shoulder, urging you to stand tall again. I know you feel it deep in your heart. Maybe every time you were about to give up, you heard their voice of encouragement in your memory. Maybe when you stood at a crossroads, a sign appeared that was an inside joke only the two of you would understand. That is not a coincidence. That is a divine reminder that you are not and have never been alone. Your kingdom extends beyond the veil. If you are feeling lonely right now, I want you to place your hand back on your heart. Close your eyes and just whisper, "Thank you for still being with me." You may not hear an audible reply, but I promise you will feel something. A shift, a warmth, a peace that surpasses all understanding. An invisible connection that is more real than anything you can see or touch. Some loves don't need a name. They are not bound by life or death. They simply exist, quietly, tenderly, protecting you in ways you may never fully comprehend. Have you been seeing repeating signs or numbers? Share them. Talk about them. You never know who else needs to hear that they are not alone in receiving these beautiful, sacred messages from beyond. And because you are so divinely connected, you must learn to listen, not with your ears, but with the royal intuition of your Leo heart. Because only when you listen from that sacred space will you realize that you don't need to hold on to someone for their love to remain with you. They love you for being you. And even if you feel you couldn't save them, you can still save yourself. And that is the journey you are on now. Dearest Leo, you were born with a heart so big, it wants to hold the entire world. You see another's pain, and your first instinct is to fix it. You hear another's cry, and you want to be their hero. You feel the unspoken suffering of others, and you are willing to exhaust your own light just to make them feel a moment of warmth. But I am here today as your cosmic guide to tell you this with all the love in my heart. You cannot save everyone. Your soul carries this invisible, self-imposed mission that tells you, if I'm not there for them, they will fall apart. But have you ever considered that sometimes, because you are always there, playing the strong one, they never learn to stand on their own? And in the process, you, my magnificent lion, slowly, quietly, burn yourself out. Please sit with this for a moment. When was the last time you truly turned that heroic, loving energy back onto yourself? You have been the pillar of strength for so many that you have forgotten that your own foundations need care too. You have been a refuge for so many hearts that you have forgotten that your own heart needs sanctuary as well. Perhaps you have blamed yourself for not being able to save them, for not doing enough. But healing others is not your duty, Leo. It is a gift you choose to give, and a gift cannot be given from an empty vessel. Today, I urge you to choose yourself. not out of selfishness, but out of a sacred responsibility to the incredible light the universe placed within you. Forgiveness is not about forgetting what happened. For a Leo, forgiveness is the ultimate act of reclaiming your power. It is cutting the energetic cords that bind you to a past you cannot change. It is looking back and saying with the full force of your heart, "That chapter is over. I have survived, and now I will thrive." You are light, Leo. You were created to feel, to love, to create, and to inspire. And precisely because your heart has known cracks, it can now radiate a more compassionate, more beautiful, and more authentic light. You don't heal others through sacrifice anymore. You will now heal and inspire them through the radical act of loving yourself, of filling your own cup until it overflows. When you choose to let go of the burdens that were never yours to carry, something magical will happen. A new door will swing open. A new path will be illuminated. A rebirth from within. A version of you, stronger, brighter, and more in love with your own life, is waiting to be unleashed. I want to share something with you. I once lost someone who was a sun in my own life. I thought my world would be permanently dim without them. And for a time, it was. The silence was deafening. But in that silence, I began to hear something new. The sound of my own heart beating. The whisper of my own soul's desires. I learned that sometimes we only begin to truly find ourselves when we lose what we thought was our everything. The loss you are feeling, Leo, is a profound teacher. It is teaching you that every single moment of life is a precious, unrepeatable gift. You still have time. Don't wait until someone is gone to tell them how much they mean to you. Don't let your pride keep you from speaking your heart's truth. Don't live so much in the past that you miss the glory of the present moment. The love you feel doesn't end with death. It transforms. It becomes the fuel for your own rebirth. You are living proof of a magnificent truth. A heart that has been shattered can, when tended with love and kindness, be put back together to become an even more beautiful mosaic, capable of reflecting the light in ways it never could before. You are no longer where you used to be. Pain is no longer the king of your inner kingdom. You are. You have loved, you have lost, you have learned, and now you are becoming a version of yourself that even the cosmos is applauding. That person who is preparing to leave does not go in vain. They leave you a legacy, not one of material wealth, but a spiritual inheritance. They leave you the courage to feel deeply and not run away. They leave you the gift of forgiveness so your heart can be free. And they leave you with the ultimate freedom, the understanding that true love is not about possession, but about appreciation. You, dear Leo, have been chosen to carry this light forward. This message was not a warning of fear, but a divine call to action. A call to live more fully, more truthfully, more brightly than ever before. A call to step into the full, radiant power of your authentic self. If this journey we have taken together has touched your soul, please share this video. It may be the very message another Leo or any grieving heart needs to hear today. Leave a final comment below, telling me what you have learned about your own strength on this path. And above all, remember this: you are not alone. The universe is protecting you. The souls who have loved you are still cheering for you, and your journey, my magnificent, radiant, beautiful Leo, is truly just beginning. Thank you for allowing me to share this sacred space with you today. Go now and shine.